Doug MPA back with another video. Guys, I was on vacation this weekend, went to go visit some friends out of town, but I am back. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite things, women and money/debt. I do a lot of videos like that on my channel because women spend most of the money, guys. One of the things you have to consider the most when looking for a girlfriend, fiance, or wife is her finances and her spending habits, guys. The average woman spends about $500,000 more in her life on things than the average man does. You know how she does that? Because she'll spend her money and your money. That's one of the major traps I see men in a marriage. The man's money is the house money, and she keeps all of her money. And for you to be a real man, you have to pay all the bills and allow her to do whatever she wants with her money. Don't get caught in the trap, guys. So this article is called Op-Ed Women. Let's talk about money. She's going to talk about how women are still deprived of making financial decisions in their lives. We all know that that's not true, but we're going to look at this article. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's see what this article says about women needing to talk about money. So one of the most common beliefs that women hold is that on some level, men are supposed to be in charge of making or managing the money in relationships. Well, gee, why is that? It's because women deep down know that men are better with money. We save more money. We make more money. We make wiser investments. We spend our money on things that freaking appreciate and value, not depreciate. We're more willing to go back in lifestyle to save money, have a family. That's why. Women throughout history and still in many places today have been deprived of property rights or the opportunity to control their finances. Where is this? In the West. Because women like this always say, oh, yeah, on the African continent or in the Middle East, but you live in the United States. Shifting women's belief about money will require filling in social and cultural gaps. There is one of our favorite words, guys. With education, access to resources, the instillment of a growth mindset. So she even acknowledges that women don't have a growth mindset and reinforcing that everyone is capable of learning. Says, I'm not a math person. I'm not a numbers person. I'm bad with money. Sounds familiar? Yeah. Sounds like my ex-wife. I'm pretty sure plenty of you guys listening to this can say the same thing. You know what? Put in the comments if you can relate to what I'm saying right now. No, we're not recording you at home. As a wealth advisor, I hear statements like this all the time from women, regardless of their age. In fact, one of the most common, often unconsciously inherited beliefs that women share with me is that on some level, men are supposed to be in charge of making or managing the money in the relationship. Women want a guy that makes more money than them, is more competent than them, etc. So it would make sense. And women want the man to take the accountability and responsibility for the relationship at all times, even when she makes a mistake. So women want a man to be good with the money. So if they mess up the money, he's still responsible for it. This can create a dynamic for many women in which they don't feel that they need to understand money, sparking confusion and an overwhelming feeling when they go to learn about it. Is it really possible that there's such a stark difference in aptitude between men and women when it comes to numbers? Seems hard to believe, and research shows it's not true. So it's not the numbers thing. It's culture, it's attitude. Women feel entitled to spend every single penny they get. The average American saves 7 cents of every dollar they make. And that's including men and women. And I guarantee you the only reason why it's that high is because of all the men. One influential study led by psychologist Janet Hyde involved reviewing data from more than 100 other studies on math performance in children. Findings show that there is no difference in innate math ability between girls and boys in elementary, middle school, or high school. Interestingly, another study found that in lower income elementary school districts, girls tend to outperform boys in math. So why do so many women grow up believing that they're bad at math and later bad with money? Here we go, guys. You ready? For starters, women throughout history and still in many places today have been deprived of property rights or their opportunity to control their finances. How can women develop skills and the confidence needed to manage their money effectively if it isn't even considered to be theirs? Look, I got news for you, lady. In the third world, where you have to survive, people, men and women, go to their base roles real quick. How about the men are the ones making the money and keeping the roof over the woman's head? How about that? And a lot of places, it's still like that. That man is working to make the money and protecting his wife and his children. And he's the only reason why food is coming onto the table. And while he's doing that, someone has to raise the kids and protect the kids. It's just that simple. Think about this for familiar example. In England, up until way too recently, women were considered property themselves, belonging to their husbands, even after women fought for rights, blah, 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 blah. Other factors influencing aptitude perception include gender stereotypes and teacher bias. So how's their teacher bias when like 80% of the teachers in the United States are women? 80%, guys. Research has shown that teachers and employers tend to have lower expectations of girls and women in math and science, which can lead to lower performance and a lack of interest in these fields. Math and science aren't social fields. Women like social fields. That's why only 9.5% of STEM students are women. I hate to say this, guys, but a lot of stereotypes about engineers and like science, technology, engineering, math people are true. And guys, you've met men who are into engineering and technology. They act a certain way. Well, women kind of act that way too, and it's a turnoff for most guys. And then there's perfectionism. The immense pressure many women feel to perform at a high level across various aspects of life, including family, career, and personal finance. Okay, so if they feel pressure to overperform in family, career, and personal finance, how does this conclude to them thinking that they're bad at math and finances? This can affect a woman's confidence in making financial decisions. Ironically, women demonstrate every day that as a whole, we are superb at resource management, but that doesn't mean that you're good with money. You're really good at resource management because you spend all your money on resources, bring in resources, but you're putting yourself in further debt. And you know what? I would even argue against this basic premise because women make 80% of the consumer decisions, 70% of the student loan debt. You have all these women buying houses in this housing market where interest rates are way too high, with the home rate, the home value rates still freaking out of control. I don't know about this good at the resource management thing. Um, Women often manage the allocation of many other resources aside from money. Yeah, but money is what controls a lot of this that people consider valuable: time, talent, and relationships. Yet at the same time, we've been taught that it is not polite to talk about money. Who says this? Who says it's not polite to talk about money? I've never heard a man say that to a woman. In fact, I would argue women trying to spend their husband or boyfriend's money will say it's not polite to talk about money. But it's imperative that we do. In the coming decades, trillions of dollars are expected to change hands in the U.S. Okay. Women are expected to receive a significant proportion as a result of several factors. The increasing number of women who are earning high salaries. Now remember, guys, only 6 or 7% of women earn $100,000 a year by themselves. Expanding rules and financial decision making, and the fact that women are generally outliving men. We don't talk about that, do we? I think women on average live like 6 to 8 years longer than men. According to some estimates, the transfer of wealth to women could reach as much as 30 trillion over the next few decades. Look at this, guys. The transfer of wealth to women. not earnings for women, the transfer of wealth. It's important to know that this wealth transfer is expected to take place predominantly white families, which speaks to the important racial factors that intersect, blah, blah. Shifting women's belief about money will require filling in social and cultural gaps with education. Okay, she said that at the beginning. Promising strides have been taken in years, initiatives such as Girls Who Code and Women in STEM to aim initiatives aim to promote greater diversity and inclusivity in math and science-related fields. When we create spaces for women to talk about money, understand our money roots. These words, man. Women just come up with all these words. And our inherited money stories. It facilitates breakthroughs that can improve our relationship to money for our lives and for generations to come. Having conscious conversations around money helps us clarify values, deepen knowledge. As a result of this work, we've already seen so many women create new possibilities, not just for how we relate in their partnerships or family unions, but also in the way we frame the very idea of wealth. Guys, women spend more than men. It's always going to be that way. The average professional woman with a degree spends more on consumer goods than the average family of four in the United States. Women just have this idea of money that it's always going to come in. I can't take it with me when I die. I've accomplished a certain amount, so like I'm going to live my best life, and most time living the best life means traveling, buying a house that they can't afford, a car that they can't afford, having that lifestyle to show off to everybody else. And that's not going to change. In fact, it's going to get even worse because single women spend the most money out of any women. Single professional women. And they say by 2030, almost half of women in the United States are going to be single and childless. You have companies, talking about boxed wine and cat food, dog food, having travel agencies for just girls trips. That is the future, and that's going to cost a lot of money, guys. You got to be careful as to the financial habits and the saving habits of the type of woman you have in your life, because it could cost you big time. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.